I've been thinking, I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. Some days things just take way too much of my energy. I look up and the whole room's spinning. You take my cares away. I can so overcomplicate. People tell me to medicate. Then only for a minute I wanna change my mind, 'cause
Hi beautiful creatives, welcome back to my channel. Love and light to you wherever you are. So let's get down to business. The first thing I'll do on my pattern paper is mark the length of the shirt, and that is 17 inches because this is a crop shirt. So you can do this on your fabric with me, but make sure you cross check before you cut. Now on the edge of the pattern paper, I'll go in by 3 inches, and this 3 inches is for the button band. So this is just the allowance for the button, and it has nothing to do with our actual measurements. So go ahead and mark this out and then rule a straight line to indicate that this is not part of the actual measurement. This is just the allowance we leave for the button. So after the 3 inches, I'll go ahead and mark my measurement, which is the first thing is my shoulder. Divide your shoulder by 2 and mark this down after the 3 inches. Now from that point, go down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. So I'll go ahead and connect the shoulder slope to the neckline. Like I said, the neckline is going to stop at where the 3 inches stopped. So the 3 inches has nothing to do with the actual measurement. Now I'm just going to divide my round armhole by 2 and mark this down from the slope. I'll make sure that what I have here, the width I have here, is the same width I have on my shoulder, which is 8 inches. Now I'll connect both points together. That's the slope and the armhole points. I'll connect this together. And I'll also rule an horizontal line. That's where the armhole will be sitting. I'm going to go ahead and mark my bust points, and then place the tape from your shoulder to your nipple. That is where your bust point is. So I'll mark this down, and then I'll rule an horizontal line. So I have my bust point here, and the next thing is the length. I don't need my waist point because this is a crop shirt. So I'll go ahead and divide my round bust by 4, and then I'll mark this down on the bust points. So because this is a box shirt, I'm just going to connect the line to the armhole line and also to the line, so it's going to be a straight line. Now on the armhole, I'll go ahead and find the middle point. And from the middle point, I'll go in by 1/2 inch. Now I'm just going to go ahead and connect the 1/2 inch to the armhole, where the bust is meeting the armhole line, and then I'll connect this also to the slope. Now I decided to do this without a curve ruler so that you guys can see that you don't necessarily need a curve ruler for this. You can do this with your free hand. Make sure that the curve you're doing with your free hand is better than what I am doing right now. And also the black line I am connecting from the middle point to the armhole line, this is for the back armhole. So right here we have the front armhole and the back armhole because this pattern is acting as the front and the back pattern. Now I'm just going to mark the neck width, and the neck width for this shirt is 3.5 inches. Now I'm just going to mark the depth for the front piece, and the depth is 3 inches. I'll connect the 2 points together. That's the depth and the neck width with a curve, and that will indicate that this is the front neckline. So the neck depth I'll be using for this shirt is 1 inch. I'm going to use a black marker. So I'm going to connect the 1 inch to the neck width. Now where you see the black markers are all for both the back neckline and also the back armhole. That is what I use the black marker for. Now go ahead and cut out pattern, cut out the excess you don't need. So we'll move on to the next stage. So while cutting, I'm just going to cut out the back armhole because I'll be cutting the back piece first before I cut the front piece. So I'll cut out the back neckline also, and also the shoulder. Now when I'm cutting this on the fabric, when I'm cutting the back piece, I'm just going to fold in the button allowance because the back does not have button allowance. So I'll fold the allowance in, and this is the back pattern. So I have my fabric here. This is crepe and it's folded into two. So I'll go ahead and place the pattern to cut out the back piece first. Make sure you have your pattern pinned to your fabric, or you place heavy objects so it doesn't move while you cut. And while you're cutting, remember to leave allowance. Like I said, it is always better for your whatever you're making your outfit to be bigger than smaller. When it's bigger, you can adjust, you can amend and get your actual size. But when it's smaller, now that is where it is going to be very hard for you to amend. So this is the back piece of the shirt. And now I'll just go ahead and open up the button allowance and cut out the front neckline. And also the front armhole.
Too much of my energy. I look up and the whole room's spinning.
So now I'm good to go. Now I'll go ahead and place the pattern on the fabric. Remember to fold your fabric into two and then place your pattern. Pin down your pattern to your fabric or place heavy objects to avoid it moving when cutting. And don't forget to add your allowance when cutting. So I'm just going to go ahead and split the front piece into two because this is a shirt and the opening is in the front. So now this is the interfacing I will be using, and this is 1 inch wide. Now I'm just going to place this interfacing at the edge of the fabric, and I'll press this down with my iron.
When the morning comes, when we see what we become, in the cold light of day we're a flame in the wind, not the fire that we've begun. Every argument, every word we can't take back, 'cause with all that has happened.
So I'm going to fold this in and press it down. So we're going to fold this in twice. So I did the first folding and I'm going to fold it in again. So I'll go ahead and after pressing this, making sure it's lay flat, I'll go ahead and fold this in again like this. So make sure you fold this in twice.
I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. Lately, I've been
Now that I am sure that this is flat, I'm going to go ahead and sew in 1 stitch. You can sew in 2 stitches, but I used 1 stitch and this is the result.
I look up and the whole room's spinning. You take my cares away.
So this is my front piece ready, and I'm just going to go ahead and attach the back piece to the front piece. I'm going to sew the sides by 1/2 inch and the shoulder to 1/2 inch. This is the result, you guys. Getting close to the end. Now I'm going to place my tape on the armhole to find out how many inches I have there because I'll be cutting out the sleeves.
Just keep breathing, 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 breathing. Oh, you know I gotta keep on breathing.
Go ahead and fold your fabric sleeves into 2. And I'm going to mark the length. The length of the fabric I'll be using for my sleeves is 26 inches long. And the width is 8 inches wide. So that's 16 inches, but folded into 8 inches. Now on the open edge of the sleeves, I'm just going to go down by 6 inches. And at the top of the sleeves, I'll mark in 3 inches. I'll go ahead and connect both points together like this.
You can call me an artist. You can call me an idol, but I keep on breathing. I know what I am. I know what I want.
So I'll go ahead and place my tape to mark the armhole and also add 1/2 inch because of the sewing allowance. And I'll connect this straight down to the length of the sleeves.
Lately, I've been thinking, I want you to be happier.
And then I'll go ahead and cut out the excess.
Some days things just take way too much of my energy. I look up and the whole room's spinning. You take my cares away.
So now I'll just go sew in by 1/2 inch at the edge of the sleeves. And this is it. This is the both sleeves for the shirts. I'll go ahead and attach this to the shirts. Now you guys, I'll be uploading a separate video on how you can be able to make a collar for shirts. So please stay tuned. Subscribe if you're not. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe so you can be able to get notifications. So while subscribing, put on your notification bell, so when the next video is being uploaded, you get the notification. And I'll be stopping here for now, you guys. Make sure you hem the base of the shirts, and also create your buttonholes and attach your buttons. And please stay tuned to get the next video on how to create this collar. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be seeing you on my next video. Love and light always, always, always to you wherever you are. Bye.
Come in the cold light of day, we're a flame in the wind, not the fire that we begun. Every argument, every word we can't take back. Cause with all that has happened, I think that we both know the way that the story ends.